Good morning, Jen. How are you? How are you? How are you? You're the first one in this morning, Miss Jen. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Miss Carol. How you doing this morning? You're on the ball this morning. It's early. I'm all right. Each day's a new day. At this point, that's the only thing you can do is hope for the best and hope for each day to be an adventure. So we shall see what today brings. Ladies, what y'all know good? What's going on in y'all's life? Carol, how many cups of coffee have you had this morning already? Just you two ladies this morning? I guess it's too early. The early birds. We're the early birds. Oh, Carol's going to be on the warpath this morning. She ain't had but 2 sips of her coffee. I've already had a complete mug full and retired it, but I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning. It's calf season again. 4 on the ground, 79 to go. Oh no. Well, I've got we managed to get some starter feed for calves for the runt deer, and she seems to really like it. She goes straight for it now instead of trying to eat corn. She just devours that sweet feed. And I guess it's drawing everybody else out of the woods because yesterday afternoon around 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, somewhere around in there, I really wasn't paying attention to the time. We had 4 deer out there, one mama and 3 yearlings. So we've been, it's funny, I've been watching them move in the back of the woods and stuff. It's crazy at how far I can now tell a deer's moving around. When I first started watching them, I couldn't, Daddy could see them and I couldn't see them. But now my eyes have gotten trained a little bit better and I can see them a little better. We still only have 2. Does it have molasses in it? What, the coffee? GM wants to know if you have molasses in your coffee, I guess. Oh, you talking about in the feed? I don't know. I don't know what's in it. But it's got corn and it's got these little pellets in it and it's like some oats or something. I don't know what's all in it, but they do love it. Good night. The feed. If you'll go and look on yesterday morning's live, you can see the feed bag because I have it sitting up. I take a picture of it. I started the video with the bag, and then we went out to the walking trail where the deer generally are, where Dad, and we put it out there. So yeah, eat it up like it's going out of style. And it's put out by Purina, and it says calf starter kit. That's what it says on the bottom. So, but yeah, everybody's been wondering why I hadn't been live, so I thought I'd go live this morning just for a little while so you guys could see what I'm doing this morning. Sitting out here watching the woods, watching the grass grow. The birds and the squirrels haven't started moving yet. It's still early. You can just see the sun coming up right there behind y'all. Let me see if I can tilt it up just a Don't know. I'm not real sure whether it does or not, but I know whatever it's got in it, they like it. The dog tried to eat it, man. The dog tried to eat the feed. So there's something in there that they're attracted to. Just when I'm filming the deer, when the deer move, they make my camera go out of focus. And if there's a way to fix that other than getting a better camera, I'm not sure what it is. But I'm having focus problems on the lives and it's getting on my nerves, not the lives, but the shorts. And for a while, it'll stay in focus and then it'll just reach a point where it's not in focus anymore. And you can see it struggling. And then you can move it just a little bit, mainly towards me, and it seems to get the focus back. But then it'll go unfocused again as soon as one of them moves. So catching these deer in at rest without me bothering them is very difficult. And I have went as far as to put my phone out in the woods and put it on its pedestal and let it sit there. the, the other day, my dad and I were talking about running her off, and I can't remember. He told me to walk outside and run her off because he doesn't want her used to people spraying. So I'm not sure what's in it actually, Jen. I haven't looked at the ingredients. I bet my dad has, but I haven't. And this morning we have yet to go out, so we haven't fed them yet. And I know she's gotten used to it being there. Her and all her little cronies are coming with her. So we've had 3 young ones eating the starter hay, which is good. And all of them are yearlings. All of them are about the same size as her. So, you know, man, I never thought I'd see the day when I had 2 chatters. I had Gian and Carol. That's all. Unless my phone hasn't updated, which it probably hasn't. But after 8 minutes, now we got 3. Just as soon as I said something, it went up 1. But what is that? Oh, the back of the chair. Okay. I was trying to figure out what it was in the camera's way, but it's the back of the chair. I'll give it a few minutes. If we don't do no better than 2 people, I won't stay live long. It won't be long for Dad takes them out in the woods. But he has to wait on the next door neighbor to get up and get going. Make sure they don't let the chickens out. Hmm. Well, we just saw her running with a yearling and a mom the other day for the first time. So she's pairing up with them, and her and that other deer's baby are about the same size. So my guess is they came pretty much around the same time. But the yearling we've been taking care of lost her mama, and they're already at the stage where they're weaning the deer. So because you can see that in yesterday's video, they're starting to wean them, and or they already have weaned them, and they'll bring them out here and graze. But I would say probably 3 months old at the latest. These deer are is my guess, just based on what I'm seeing. I mean, they had the yearlings don't have spots, but they've been long lost them. Now, when I first got here, some of them still had spots. The main reason we have her on the main reason we have her on the feed right now is because she's so underweight. Underweight, abdomen distended out. Her back section looks like she was almost hit by a car. And see, I'm having to distance myself, Carol. That's a big issue because my dad and I have a mutual respect for one another. I respect the fact that he hunts deer, and I respect the fact that he feeds us with those deer. However, he also respects the fact that I think they're more beautiful in nature. And he knows I like to take pictures of them and things of that nature. So he really is very, very patient with me when it comes to the deer, because I have a tendency to, you know, want to reach out and see just how close I can get to her, and reach out and see if I could touch her and all this other stuff just to see. But then again, it's just like my dad reminded me. He's like, yeah, but what you're not thinking about is all the people that want to touch her afterwards, and she'll trust them, and then they'll kill her. So he got a very valid point. She has to be afraid of humans. And so we can't do the 5. Good morning. Good morning. If you're new and you just popped in and you're just coming in chat, say hello so I'll know who's here. When we get to 500, I'm going to go to subscriber mode only. Mainly just to keep the chat kind of, it'll secure it just a little bit, not a lot. Me and Carol's talked about it a little bit, and Carol's like, well, it really isn't going to do any good. And she's right. It's probably not, but good morning, Microchip. Yes. And we are fixing that microchip. We noticed that, but she was orphaned. And the first day that I come out here, I noticed her, and I noticed how bad she looked. And I mentioned it to my dad, and I got a video of her. So I showed it to my dad, and I was like, look, if we don't do something, she's going to die. So what do you want to do? And my dad's like, well, we need to feed her. We're going to have to get her some special feed. And so between my dad's corn trail and the sweet feed, she's doing good. She's doing good. She's already looking better than what she was. And yes, she was a small deer and she was orphaned, and it was just her. So me and dad made sure that, well, I don't know what the sweet feed's got in it. It's just called sweet feed. I don't know what it has in it, but I know she likes it. We bought it from the co-op. Corn, and some hay, right? It's corn, and there's these little pellets and hay. And I wouldn't even hesitate to say oats as opposed to hay, because I can't really tell what the little straw-like things are in there. But when my dad comes out this morning, I'll show you guys what it looks like, because it won't be long before he'll be coming out here to walk the dogs anyway. But I just wanted to, and she's gaining weight and looking better. So, and this is only after a week of having it in her system. So I'm pleased with it. It's doing the job. It's making her healthy, which is what we were concerned about. She would have no doubt died had we not had the stuff out here that we've had. Well, we'll see. I don't know what all's in it. All I know is it's a starter feed for calves. So they're used to being on it young. Dad seems to think it'll put weight on her. I wanted to be a little more friendly with her too, but you can't do that because I'm not the only human she's going to come across. Although I won't hurt her, there are people out there that will, and I don't even think my dad could shoot her now, because she's living because we fed her, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit different. She'll be there's not been that many that he just refused to shoot in his time. But yeah, if he saw her outside at his hunting club, he wouldn't shoot her. Um, Farmer Microchip, hello. Are you a farmer, Microchip? But she's looking better slowly. Slowly, 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 she's gaining weight. It is such a blessing to come in here and have Carol and Jeanne and Microchip. Microchip is a plus because I had not seen you in so long till I've run across you in chat that day. Yeah, we grew up when I was younger than my kids are now. We pulled our own beans and snapped them. We shelled our own peas. We had our own watermelons and cantaloupes, and we loved our tomatoes and cucumbers and just all of these things. We not only did we have a garden, but we ate off the garden. So you couldn't ask for better food. To me, to this day, all that grocery store hype about stuff being organic, no. If you plant something and you live in the woods like we do, you're going to have to keep bugs and stuff off of it. So you're going to have to put some stuff on it. But regardless of what they tell you, the best food that's grown and the best taste is the stuff you grow in your own yard. Ah, I'm afraid to ask what's wrong, Microchip. What's going on? You didn't have the big C, did you? Y'all hear that rooster this morning? That rooster stays confused. He doesn't know the difference between daylight and dark. Trust me. That joker be baying off all day long. I thought I would be. I will never get used to the sound. I'm just telling you. It's back when I was younger. Roosters did not bother me. After Deuce had his ringtone or his alarm set for that stupid rooster, I just cannot stand. Oh, that's so sad. I did not know that. Oh man, it's terminal. You can't get better. There ain't nothing they can do. That sucks right there. I don't like that at all. See, this is what I think about the freedom movement and the people that's fighting for freedom. All of us are older, and all of us are like Gen Z type people. All of us were born in like I was born in the 70s. So, I mean, we are it, you guys. If we don't instill our principles in our kids, then this generation, when it passes, and all of us, we're getting older and we're getting sick and we're starting to die, and if we don't do something pretty quick, everything that we've been fighting for is going to die with us, and that's where I think we are. Man, chemo's so bad on your body, and we do love our microchip. um I've loved you since Santa's chat. I mean, it's just been that simple since way back when me and Carol and Deuce and Lady Buckeye and a couple more were all mods and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Um, and one day Carol picked up a wrench and caught me over the head with it, and knocked some sense into me, and that's how I got. But I mean, that's when me and Carol we had a little disagreement, and out of that disagreement has blossomed a really good friendship. Sometimes it takes it, and then I had to sit down and talk to her. So you look at it like I'm being condescending. I'm actually not being condescending or even trying to be smart. I'm being dead serious. Watching her mod taught me so much about modding, just watching the work she did. And a lot of times I would sit back and chat and just watch her, because her and Lady Buckeye together, man, if you couldn't learn something about being a mod, then I don't know what to say. The chemo makes you gain weight. That's good. Um, But yeah, I think what it all comes down to is, like I said, we're all getting older, and my kids are being taught the difference between what the school system is teaching them and the difference between what I'm teaching them. And the school system actually had a problem with me because I called the school and requested that they keep the boys' laptops at the school. And I told the teacher, I said, I don't care if they got homework. I said, print them out of paper and send it home and let him get it done, because he's not going to be using the laptop here. And before you even question the validity of um, them saying to you that my mom won't allow me to go online and do homework at home, they would be absolutely correct. So if you want them to do it, you better send a paper home, because he's not going to do it. All right, let me see. I did modding for bunches, but since I truly got sick again, everyone has booted me out of that. Now, why do you feel like they booted you out? Is it because you're never there? Because I can tell you what's going on. There's a lot of changes going on, like even in Santa's chat, and Santa's got a rogue mod, unless he's dealt with her at this point. But somebody going in there doing some nefarious things to the mods that work for him, and has. Um, and then Carol says, sometimes you don't understand, though, text and chat. You don't see the person's emotions, so sometimes you read it wrong. I love you like my luggage. Yeah, and that's the way it is. And if you pop in a conversation in the middle of something, then of course anything that's said before that you're not going to be able to see either. So I mean, yeah, it does. It does. You can misread chat easy. Yeah, I get it. Well, I mean, that's just like Trooper. I laid out a Trooper for so long that when I went back in there, I don't have a wrench and don't care if I ever get one again. I mean, he's got people there that love him and take care of that Chad every day. And here lately, I'm finding myself in Freedom Express Media more than I am anybody. Love my Jericho, and watch both of those. And so between Jericho and Freedom Express Media, those are the two channels I've been watching. And I haven't been watching a lot of everybody else. Stormtrooper, I think, is still gone, and everybody else has moved on to better things. Still watch Taco Joe a lot, but he's not down there with the J6ers. But as a mod, I had to get seasoned, and I had to learn, and there was times when I would sit back and just let the ones that knew what they were doing handle a situation, simply because especially if Santa's chat was being trolled at the time, because I'd be done throwing out somebody that that needed to be there, or wanted to be there, instead of somebody that's not, just because of the flow of the conversation. And you could come in there early and just completely misunderstand what you're reading. And you can do that with a text in general. I think that's 99.9% of the problem that's going on with couples and relationships, is instead of communicating, they're texting each other back and forth. And that's all. And it's real easy to misunderstand someone in a text. I was famous mod. Everyone talked about staying away from me and doing stupid stuff. Well, you need to go back to being a mod, maybe, if you feel good enough to do it. You know, um, I enjoyed it, but now in Santa's chat, it was, you either learned it or you didn't. That's kind of the way Santa was. You either learned it or you didn't, because Santa got hit by trolls worse than anybody else. That was just the way it was. Um, and you either learn how to deal with it or you didn't. Well, you online this morning, and I'm glad you're here. And like I said, we've got a small group this morning, but it's early. Like, I think there's a 2-hour difference at least between here and Arizona. There's a 3-hour difference between here and California. And so, like, C4 for Freedom, she ain't even rolled over yet. I doubt Red Cactus has rolled over yet. Nina apparently is not up yet this morning, because if she was, she'd be on the live stream. So it's early enough that she's still asleep. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta walk in the building for something. Y'all just enjoy the scenery. You guys sit here long enough, y'all might see a deer. I know Run will come out this morning after Dad gets through. Sometimes I like not being a mod and just get to chat with people. Yeah, a lot of people told me after I left Burleson that I ought to get an alternate name. But when you build a channel from the ground up, like I have this one, and in the beginning I had help, but I'm just saying that when you build it from the ground up, it begins to mean something to you. And it takes a lot of work to do a channel. And me being a photographer makes it even more interesting because the things that most people find boring, like the deer and the butterflies and everything else, is stuff that I actually enjoy watching. So, oh, you don't like deer meat? I was raised on it, so it's kind of just second nature to me. I mean, my dad's been a hunter since I was born, way before that. And if the deer meat is prepped properly, that's where the defining difference is. Is it prepped right? And my dad soaks his meat on ice for 3 days before he actually cooks it and puts it up and cubes it and grounds it and all the stuff that we do to it. So I think that's where people make their mistakes. They don't soak it long enough. But I can't count how many deer. 2 years ago, I helped him clean, I know, 8, 9, 10. Helped him go get some of them and pick them up and put them in the trailers. We have limousine cattle. It's real lean the way we do it. Oh, okay. Milk. What about milk, microchip? I can't stand milk. Now, I got a kid that loves it. And my dad prefers the raw milk that comes straight out of the cow, especially if it's chilled in one of them dispensers from the dairy barns, because that stuff has to be at least, it's got to be a certain temperature for them to even pump it off. So it's got to be ice cold, like it'd been stuck in the refrigerator. Oh, in milk? I don't know if he's ever done that. I bet you he's heard of it. I won't know until he comes out here to walk the dogs, but I guarantee you he's heard of it. There's not a lot. Let me get this out of the way. There's not a lot that when it comes to procuring meat and stuff like that he probably hasn't heard of. So when my son gets a deer, I'll buy steak trimmings to ground up with the deer burger. And you know, the thing is if it's like if people do their deer like my dad does, when you get it done, you will have a very difficult time knowing the difference between the taste. My neighbor soaks in vinegar and soda water and then microchip. We used to cook our meat in the ground, then put it in the root cellar underground. He buried a turkey in the ground one year. My dad did. Had me all upset. I come up here because we worked a deal out the school. I worked for the school system. They had given me like a 28-pound turkey. It was humongous. And I called my dad and I said, I'll give you this turkey, but there's only one condition. You have to smoke it And I come up here for Thanksgiving and the smoker's cold and the oven's cold, which I don't like oven baked turkey much anyway. And I looked at my dad and I said, I thought you were smoking my turkey. He said, I am. And he brought me out in the yard and brought me to a hollow stick and told me to smell of it. And he had buried my turkey under the ground and was cooking it in an underground pit. My son will marinate the backstrap for 3 days and cook it on the grill. It is delicious. My dad fries it up in the mornings. He'll cube it up and make it into cubes, and he'll fry it up, and we'll have fried cube steak and French fries or whatever. We used to make sandwiches out of it. Spring calf fry and wild boar cook in the ground cooker, and homemade beer. What a party! Homemade beer. I like turkey if it's cooked right. It has to be either smoked or well, basically it has to be smoked because I don't eat oven baked turkey very well. And my mom made turkey and gravy after Thanksgiving one year. That turned out good, and it's a good way to get rid of it. But always made beer. Now that would be something. Do you have any of his containers left of it, microchip? Do you have any of the beer left? Because I think that would be awesome. The longer it ages, of course, the better it is. Tractor races. Microchip, how many cows have you tipped in your day? Oh, we're up to 8. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Tractor, yes. Hey, good morning, Third. You went to the gym this early? What time did you get there? Man. Well, there he goes. The neighbor's leaving. That's all Dad's been waiting on. So he's supposed to come out with a four-wheeler, which means it'll get loud for a minute. Ooh, I'm just getting my kids up at 5:30 in the morning. And as a matter of fact, I'm having coffee with Dad at that hour. And then by 5:50 to 6 o'clock, usually I wake them up. I give them like 20 minutes to get dressed so they can't fight each other. I walk in there and be like a drill sergeant the second I walk in the building. Y'all get up. It's time to get up. And if they don't get up, I'll either get water and put water on them, or I'll get that paddle and get them square across their butt early in the morning. I did that to Aiden a couple mornings ago. He got up then. Yeah, I know I hadn't made a pot lately either, y'all. I just have not. My frame of mind. We've been busy too. I've been busy. I've been looking for online jobs. I've been job searching. So my computer's here. The mouse is here. Still have to get a headset for the switchboard. It has to be a certain kind. It has to be a USB. It cannot be like a plugged one at all. So I got to get that set up, and then most of these jobs are talking about sending me equipment and sending me 3 monitors and all this other mess, and it's going to be absolutely chaos. Carol says freeze some marbles. If they don't get up, put the marbles in the bed. Whenever they roll, they will roll. I had to do it to my son. That's a good idea. That's funny. And they'd be ice cold too, and everywhere they moved, they'd follow them. So yeah, that would be funny. Hadn't thought about that, but that's a really good idea. And then you could collect them up and put them back in the freezer. That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna have to try that, Carol. Good morning, Jamie. You still on cloud 15? Yeah, I just put a swift little pat across their butt with that daggum paddle. They'll get up. And I'm going to tell you, nobody in this world was harder to wake up than Deuce. He would sleep like the dead. When he finally went to sleep, he would sleep heavy and long. I figured you were. You were just that close. It's too, and you got to speak to him, but not quite as much as you wanted to. But considering the circumstances, I think you guys did really good. And I watched you from Freedom Express Media that morning, and you guys did awesome. He is one of the most protected people in the world right now, and you guys were able to get right up there to him. So I thought it was cool. I know, right? Carol, you're right. The only thing awake at this hour of the morning, it seems to be the birds and all of us. So the only thing I wish we would have had is some coverage like after he got it, like after you were gone. And I wish they would have shown it somewhere with him with his hands on it. That would have been so, so cool. But like I said, there was people standing there just waiting on somebody to try to get too close. I mean, he had bodyguards everywhere. And I just thought it was an awesome thing to sit there and watch. And then, you know, I'm a part of that history. I made myself a part of it because my name's on that letter. And that's just one of a chance of a lifetime thing. That is cool. I can't wait to see that. Jamie, Jamie, I would have probably gotten next to Mr. Trump and collapsed so he would catch me. That's hilarious. I tell you what, all this stuff with these indictments in Georgia, and he was coming into Fulton County, and me and Dad were like, "Man, this will be the most awesome time." My dad just can't do. He just can't get up there and stay up there like it would have took me for me to get coverage of him. And plus, we already had Freedom Jeffrey, I believe, was there. Glory B was there. We had coverage. There was people there on the ground. So not everybody can be up there, but I sure wanted to be as close as they were to me. We went up to 9. Good morning, whoever joined us. Good morning. So, yeah, I hadn't been live. I've been trying to concentrate. My picture is plastered all over Benminster. What is that? I got to check that out. Is it a page or is it a channel owner or is it a business or what is it? That lady that's actually the judge up there, she is trying her best, trying her best. And then they're making moves now to impeach her, which is tit for tat. That's what they ought to do. Oh, it's a golf course. Okay. All right. I did not know that. Is that the place where he plays golf? Oh, that's right. Y'all were at the golf course. I forgot. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. I wasn't sure where he was at and exactly as far as where y'all were meeting him at, but that was cool. I enjoyed your little van ride too. The little van was cute, so you guys did good. A once in a lifetime thing for Jamie to be able to be that close. Her and I guess it was Freedom Express Media because he was right there behind her. Yeah, okay, I got you. I'll be out here sometimes late at night by myself when I can't sleep. I'll bring my cigarettes out here and my cup of tea and just sit out here, and it can be pitch black dark out here. And all you'll hear is the squirrels rustling around, the birds rustling around. You'll hear a deer occasionally. You can't really see them unless you just catch them in the light just right. But sometimes if the moon's full enough, you can see them moving through the trees at night. Yes. Yes, Jamie refused to give up, and that's the way we have to be. You have to refuse to give up. And it was an awesome thing, and I was so happy for her because I was just like, "Oh man, that had to be cool as hell to be right there in front of him, literally." And then you guys got some Trump uh, autographed hats. Man, I would love to have one of those. I didn't get a chance. I would never get a chance to be up there, and that's, that's the main reason actually that I'm working on me as much as I am in my license and stuff, because what I would like to do is I want to go on the road with the chat. I want to visit y'all one at a time, and I want to do other things, and I want to include y'all in those decisions. And if I don't get my license, I can't do it. But yeah, that's the goal. Jamie says the photographer was very cool. She helped me get it there. She was the best. Yes, that J6 flag is going to be something that's going to be awesome. And then if you fly it anywhere, like at a flag wave or something, because it's got Trump's signature on it, it's going to be awesome. It gave me chills when Trump looked up at David. Right? Right? I mean, I was so happy. I was just sitting there. I was so happy for all of them. I was just like, wow, you guys did awesome. Y'all did good. I was a little upset with Jamie, not Jamie's chat, but Freedom Express Media's chat when they were talking about getting in there and they kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. They don't understand the people he's got around him, because if you don't believe that the Democrats want to kill that man, you better think again. And to a point that they might have to try to do it just to try to keep him out of office. They do not want him to run again. And I think it probably is because Donald Trump has swore that he's coming after every single one of them. That might have a little to do with it. But the trash needs to be taken out. It's time to take all the trash out. Good morning, Ridgeline. Good morning. Good morning. It has been a while. I'm glad to see you in here. Yeah. He's most definitely a target. That's for sure. Anybody that goes against the gurus up there in Washington and in other places, the people making the decisions, yeah. And in case people did not know, the World Economic Forum has got entirely too much power. Yes, it's going to be hilarious. You can go and you can pack your shit and you can pack your crap and you can pack your pencils too. It's time to go. What you up to this morning, Mr. Ridgeline? So we went from 7 to 10. Good morning, everybody that just joined us. Let me know you're here. Right? Like he says so famously, Microchip, it's not me that they want. It's you that they want, and I'm standing in their way. And that's probably true, because I believe that they want every patriot American dead. They want us to die off. They want to raise our kids up like these kids are coming up now. And I'm going to tell you something. Back in when I was growing up, shoot, parents still taught their kids respect. And you can teach them respect all you want to, but I think that the school system's undoing all of that. It ain't nothing but Cactus just went live. I don't know, Jamie. Maybe what we need to do is think of something big and let's get it done. Anybody that can be in his presence like that. Third says, the company I work for works with the WEF. Upsets me to think about it. They're a partner. Please hit the target, that like button, and subscribe. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you, Carol, for putting that up there. We don't push it very often. I am so sorry. I keep forgetting. No, I keep forgetting Ridgeline. I'm so sorry. Oh, man. I apologize. It's okay. I'll blame it on the fact that it's early and my brain's not working right this morning. Good morning, Barbara. How are you this morning? So, how are you doing, Miss Barbara? What you up to today? Anything special? What you see with me this morning is what you get. So, what David? Are we talking about David from Freedom Express Media? Are we talking about, there's too many of you. I can't keep everybody straight, y'all. Y'all got to remember that. Barbara says she's going shopping. That doesn't sound like fun to me. But then you could be talking about Convoy Santa. You could be talking about any David. I mean, it was awesome. Everybody was in tears. I had goosebumps and everything. I want everyone that got pictures of Jamie and David with Trump to please send them to me, or to Jamie to send to me. I would like to make a book for her, a picture book, and any donations. That would be cool. Carol, that's an awesome idea. I think everybody cried. I did not take any pictures. There's probably going to be enough out there. I don't do screenshots. I try not to do screenshots. A lot of people do, but I try not to. I'd rather take my pictures myself. So that's one thing I ain't never been big on, is taking screenshots. I don't even like to do selfies. So there you go. My dad's running behind this morning. I'm surprised he ain't already out here. The dogs know too, just as plain as they have become creatures of habit. Their favorite time of the day is when he takes them out for their run. And they know when he's heading out to, he's got a certain way of doing things in the mornings, and they pick up on it. I sent David pics, Freedom Express Media. Cool. I do too. I hate selfies. They never turn out right. And your arms are only so long, and unless you walk around with a selfie stick in your pocket, which I don't do, which this little gadget, that Deuce got me, that I've always used for my live stream, you could probably get it to do that if you wanted it to. But I'll be honest with you, you're not going to have it. So maybe about another 1.5 foot range. So it's not going to do too much good to try to use it for a selfie stick. But one of the things I like about it is I can clip it somewhere or unclip it very easily. It can be moved easily. The only thing is the weight of the phone has to balance. So, but I've enjoyed it. Deuce found it, I think, on the clearance rack. He paid $3 or $4 for it. Come home and gave it to me. And at first, I was just like, "What in the hell?" And then the more I started using it, the more I liked it. And now I can come out here and show you guys all of the beautiful scenery, the woods and the quietness and the birds and the squirrels and whatever else we can pick up on the live stream. But I don't know. I I find so much peace in these woods, and I spend a lot of time watching them. I like to sit out here and watch nature. It's probably the most calming thing that there is that I can think of, in my mind anyway. Is sitting out here enjoying the peace and quiet and just the early sounds of nature. I normally would have me a cup of coffee, but I've already reached my limit on coffee this morning. So, because I've been up since 5 o'clock. Oh, now the neighbor's trying to leave. So it must have been his wife that left this morning. And now he's trying to crank up his van. We have to wait on both neighbors to leave, make sure that they're not letting their chickens out. I was sitting out here one morning and I was sitting at the table I'm sitting at now, and Dad was back there running the dogs. And two big old black dogs came out of the edge of the woods, and I couldn't actually tell what they were when I first saw them because all I saw was the black. And we have a bear that's been spotted down here, so I got a little concerned, especially considering my dad was in the woods with the dogs and had to come back, and his dogs will chase anything. So I was concerned with that. Oh, really? We've got water near us. It's just behind y'all. Um, the lake is literally like our front, like across the street that runs out in front of our house. The lake is right there. Um, when my grandfather got this land, he got land that was not waterfront simply because if you have waterfront property, Georgia Power has a tendency to tell you what you can do with it. Um, especially when it comes to a dock, down to what size nails you can use, what kind of boards you can use, how high it can be. And they didn't want that. They wanted to be able to do stuff on their own. Plus, we have lake access all around us. So, pavilion. Oh, yeah, that's my dad's got two or three of those things out here. He uses that one specifically to keep his wood under and keep it dry. He's got one he's got his grills under. And we also have two storage buildings on site and a gazebo. The gazebo never gets used, and it's completely screened in. Um, and as far as I know, no one has ever used it. There goes the four-wheeler. Okay. So it's just to get a little loud. I thought about that too. Um, I thought about taking you guys out on the lake. Me and Daddy's got to get the day to go. When he goes, he wants to shoot docks. When I go, I want to court fish. So we fish differently too. Um, so yeah, I thought about taking you guys out on the lake, but I may not could take you out to fish, but I could take y'all out on a boat ride. Me and Daddy could go boat riding one morning. The only thing is, it would be really loud on the water. It's going to be loud. You guys hear the four wheeler? Where's Chip Chip? Yeah.
where you been?
Nah, they didn't ask me where I'd been. They know, pretty much. I mean, you know, you got to have a life outside of the live stream, which I don't really have one, but that's beside the point. I mean, I got kids to take care of, kids to get on the school bus, all that stuff. But other than that, this is what I do. I have an Argo. They will go into water, and we need that. That's Chipper right there in front of y'all. Mitzi's checking out my building. And there she goes. And here comes Daddy. He's supposed to get ready to put, I love to fish, just not good at it. Oh, I love to fish, and I am good at it. I just don't do it enough. My idea of fishing is just a flat bottom boat, fishing in the coves and things of that nature, or sitting on the pier and fishing somewhere or the dock. But I'm not much on, I don't know anything about going out and actually being in a boat and driving it myself. That's just something I can't do. Now, Dad does. He's putting the corn out first. And Chipper done left him. Now he's putting the sweet feed out. Sticks and seaweed. First of all, you want me to get that?
What?
This is what the sweet feed looks like. That's it. This is what he's feeding the baby deer. Marshmallows and Velveeta for what? Hold on. Let's see. My oldest son has every lure known to man, I think. I lost count of how many fishing poles he has. Marshmallows and Velveeta. I hope not to fish. Y'all crazy. Fishing bait is not marshmallows. You cannot fish. Now, I know I've heard corn is good for that, but not marshmallows. I've heard corn is the way to go in the mornings. When you're trying to go out early, take some whole kernel corn and fish with whole kernel corn, and you'll catch a bunch of fish. It's crazy. But yeah, they got Daddy's got that deer on really good food based on what I'll eat that. That's funny. Corn and peanut butter. I've never tried. How would you possibly get peanut butter to stay on your line? Now that's going to be the thing. You are serious? Oh, wow. I guess when fish get hungry enough, they'll eat anything, huh? I guess so. Yep, just a boring morning in Georgia, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and they color marshmallows and fish in the ocean all the time. Huh. I don't want to fish with no maggots. We have what they call catawba worms. Do y'all know what a catawba worm is? That's good fish bait. Me and Dad's been walking around trying to find some more bulluses, some more muscadines, whichever way you want to put them. Both of them are wild grapes. And we've been trying to find some more so that we hadn't been able to find any. They grow wild, so you have to look for them. And he ain't had a lot of luck, and neither have I. So if we can get some more, we're going to try to get some and show you guys what they look like. And if you've never had them, maybe I can find somebody that's got some jelly up here where I can send some out to some of my people. Microchip, that's what he fixes with when fishes for when he shoots stocks is crappy and loves it. I mean, I personally don't eat fish, but I know a lot of people who do. So I love to catch them, but I don't eat them. Um, we never got a chance to do it at Deuces, but I wanted to have like a shrimp night where we had shrimp and steak. But it seems like to me, Mr. Daniel was trying to find a job, so he was off doing other things during the day and finally got him a job, and now he's never home. So, but one of these days, I would have liked to have had a shrimp fry. And I don't do catfish. Oh, is Nina in here? I hadn't seen her yet. Ah, I've done that too. Chicken livers. Good morning, Miss Nina. I was telling the chat a while ago that you couldn't possibly have been up yet, or you would have already been in chat. Carol was the second one in, and GM was the first one in. And I'm talking about Jan and Carol popped in here within the first minute of it being live. I am in Georgia, yes. As much as I don't want to be, I am here. Yes, I'm no longer in Texas. My heart's still there, but I'm back home. As bad as I hate to be. Yeah, I see you did sleep late. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be up early like me. when my kids get home from school, they'll be fussing because they're ready to go back to school. I look forward to the weekend getting here and getting gone. I don't mind getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I have my day to myself. I can do pretty much what I want. So, um, while they're at school, I do me. And then when they get home until Sunday night, when they go back to sleep to get ready for school Monday morning, they're on their time. Oh, you got a lot of noise, Jan, outside your house this morning. There ain't nothing going on here. It was just a live to check in and see how everybody was doing. Um, I did find out some interesting information this morning. My Uncle Jimmy from Texas is coming down to Georgia. He's coming to our house, believe it or not. He is going to go fishing with my dad. So we should get to spend some time with my uncle, who, even when I was in Texas, I never saw. Yeah, I was having problems, but I do anytime I change places. I grew up in Georgia. It took me a long time to get used to the crap that's here. And it really put me in a bad situation with my asthma when I got to Texas, because Texas has a drier heat. They then deuce on top of that, use the fireplace when it was cold, which is what it's for. And heaters and things of that nature also dry the air out. So I was just having a hard time. I just couldn't, and up there it was, like I said, it was different. It activated my asthma immediately. But and I still have problems with my asthma. I still have problems with it, but not like I did over there. I guess I'm just more used to this area and what's here and what grows here. We should be able to do that with no problem. The Right now, and I really apologize to you guys, because what I wanted to do with the channel is really not what it has become all of a sudden. The pots and things of that nature, I like to sit down and do with y'all, but I just didn't feel like messing with it this morning. And but my goal is to get situated to where I can get out of this house and do some things. I don't want to just sit here. I want to go and be a part of things, like the stuff that was going on in Fulton County. It would have been nothing for me to be there. It would have been an hour and 30-minute trip, and Trump was there being indicted in the county courthouse. It would have been quite a thing to be on the street level with people like Freedom Jeffrey and Glory Be Freedom, and people that I have known in chat for quite some time, because they were all there. I would have loved it. Freedom Express Media, all of them have gone in and out of there. And yeah, I would have liked to have been a part of it, but my problem is just them just being immobile, not being able to go and do anything. So, and it irks me. So I'm working. That's the main reason right now that I'm trying to get my license fixed so that I can drive. I have an adult stick bug on my porch. That's interesting. They are odd looking creatures, for sure, for sure. I figured everybody knew that I was already back in Georgia by now. But Ridgeline and Microchip is not somebody we see every day. So they're just learning about what's been going on. You'll have to go back and watch some of my lives before I left Texas to kind of get filled in. I don't want to talk about that mess this morning. Um, I'm already having a hard enough time. And I have good days and bad days still. And this morning, I don't really want to talk about it, because if I do, it's going to get me in that zone. So we're going to drop it. But if you want to find out what's going on, just go back and look at some of the lives before I left Texas. You should be able to tell the difference because of Deuce's house. Hundreds of dragons in the backyard. They are going to Mexico. I'm afraid to ask what you're talking about. I'm waiting on. Yeah, it's it's most definitely been a tough situation. Um, I feel like I left a part of myself there. So that pretty much sums it up. And still to this day, still feel the same way. Um, I feel like I'm walking around in Georgia half together. Dragonflies, okay. Are you sure they're microchip not trying to insult your intelligence? But are you sure they're dragonflies? The difference between the two is the way their wings are. Dragonflies, the wings are straight out to the side, and a damselfly, their wings are back at an angle. They go like behind their back. They ain't no telling what I can do. Um, I still have a lot of empty days where I miss what was. Um, some days I'm still angry. Some days I'm just hurt in general. I lost a lot, and I've been through a lot. Oh, so you're positive they're dragonflies? Cool. I think so. Some days Nina is better than others, but I think that's what's really defined this with me. More of people that were there every live. Every live they wanted to make sure I was okay and da 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 da. And that core group is still here, you know, and that's that's what I enjoy most about life now. If there is anything positive in it for me, it's the freedom of being back home and being able to be in nature. But that's the difference between being in the city and being in the country. But I would have to say that that's probably the only thing that I could find right now that's positive about this situation for me personally. Now, for everybody else that was involved, it got positive the second I left there. Me having like, I don't know. You're right. It's easier said than done too. But like I said, every day I'm making progress. Some days is easier than others, and there's still not a day goes by that I don't think about those. Um, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss him. Maybe one day that'll get easier. Right now, it's not easy at all. So that's just the way it is. I don't know, Jen. I think that's the hardest part. He gave me a taste of happiness and then it was gone. The first time I've been able to be happy in a very long time and it is gone. I've been through enough. I don't want something temporary. I want it to mean something. I wanted to build something and it to mean something. I guess it didn't. So that's where I'm at with that. It's me that's all upset and crying and just hurt and feel betrayed and cheated and just a bunch of other crap. And I think it's just me. I just don't think if he's going through anything, I certainly don't see or know about it. So I just got your message, Carol. I'll take care of that in just a second. Um, I know everybody keeps telling me that it needs to be this way and it needs to be that way. Some days it's just not easy. I don't know. I did this, that's the one thing when I sit down and talk to God, I talk to him about that a lot. Just, I was so specific when I prayed before I met Deuce. Um, it's just really sad to be in this situation. I felt like God was with us from the beginning. I just don't understand that part of it. Why give me a taste of something and then it's gone? So it ain't easy to do that. I think they're all right, guys. If you guys will watch closely, the deer's moving up. Can y'all see her? She's right there to the left of the white shed. You'll see her moving across in a minute. The picture's not going to be that great because I got the phone at a distance. But hold on, see her? She just passed. Hold on. She is behind a tree. I hope so. I hope so. She's right out there. Like I said, y'all can't see her from the distance that I got the camera sitting, but as soon as she hears that four-wheeler, most of the time she's out here. The only thing about it is she comes out here before Dad comes back, and then she can hear it now. She knows that he's still out there, which is why I can't understand why she came until he was done. But buddy, she believes in getting here, eating breakfast early. Yeah, I mean, I get that too, Ridgeline. I appreciate it. And then Nina said, my mom always said you can't see your future if you keep looking in your past. It is difficult, needless to say. Um, I bucked and screamed and pitched a fit and bucked and screamed some more and pitched some more fit because it was not what I wanted. But you know what? And I can't change it. It wasn't my decision. I tried. Took us about a year and 3-4 months to get here. And it feels like to me it's going to take a lifetime for it to go away. So there comes Dad through the woods. Deer ran off when he heard that four-wheeler coming, so that's good. That means for a while we were really concerned because she wasn't, because of me dealing with her with pictures and things of that nature. She got used to me being out here. She got used to me being outside and moving around and even up and like getting close to her. And Dad didn't want her that humanized, so we've had to work with her to get her back where she needed to be, where she spooked easy and she would run. And that's what we need her to be because we may never do anything to her, but somebody else will. Yeah, I'm just tired of the hurt. I'm tired of being hurt in the process. I've hurt enough just by my circumstances alone. I've had enough hurt. I don't need no more. You know, I really don't. He's trying to gather the dogs back up. Sounds like to me they went that way. This has been a small live this morning, but I tell you guys what, I'm fixing to go ahead and end this live. I said that like 30 minutes ago, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the live. I got some things I need to do this morning, but I will check in with y'all in a couple days. It probably won't be tomorrow because the kids will be here. They get on my nerves when I'm live, but sit here and talk to Daddy for a minute and see what he's got going on this morning. And I guess I'll catch up with you guys at another time. That would be awesome. Carol, I don't want to hear it. You were like 5 hours from me. That's it. And I cannot believe this is just, this is the second time we were supposed to meet. We haven't been able to meet. But that would be awesome. Where would you guys suggest that we meet up at? Finding a halfway, I don't want to hear it. Hey, Mitzi. And then here comes Chipper lagging behind as always. Come on. Slow Pokey, come on. Slow Pokey. Go in there with Daddy before you get in trouble. Let's see. Come to my neck of the woods. We'll have to see how far that would be. How on God's green earth I ever met with truckers on a convoy across this country and back, and then met so many patriots is unbelievable. And if I would have stayed where I was, my life would be what? Who knows? Who knows? We don't ever know. Shoot, I fell in love with Carol and Santa and Lady Buckeye and Gypsy and all those people that started out modding for Santa in the very beginning. And then every chatter started building its own personality. And then it was a family. That's what it was. It was a family, and it grew. And some of us have gotten extremely close and tight. And I've had the privilege of meeting several of them face to face, which has been awesome. I've been wanting to meet Carol for a long time, but have not been able to do it. So, I got to make sure. Can't come to Ohio next month. I got kids. You got to wait on me to get the kids situated. Then I might can take off and do something. Sometimes you have to. It's just like Silly was saying. She's a keyboard warrior, but she'll also get out there and get in the trenches too. So I mean, we've seen her do both. And Carol's that way. She's a hell of a good mod, and she's on street level 3rd. She's not only got her own channel, but then Jeffrey's got his channel, and she mods for everybody plus works. I don't see how in the world everybody does everything they do. But y'all do. Everybody works hard, and a lot of the people that's in this chat are people that we started with. So Everybody's got their own place in their own heart, and in the movement especially, because if you've been a part of it since the convoy days, like me and Carol and all the rest of them, then hey, that well, I mean, yeah, I was boots on the ground, but you know, it would be better. I'm like you. We all need to get together and see where we could meet up at. That would be a midway point, which there isn't going to be one. That's going to be midway for everybody. But having a girls' weekend might not be a bad idea. If we could get lucky enough to find a place like we found with Charlene and them when we rented that pavilion that we stayed in Texoma, you couldn't ask for a better price for it to be split 10 ways. We should all go to Camp Freedom, West Virginia. Wouldn't know what hit them with all of us wild ladies showing up. I know, right? That would be hilarious. To all of us meet up at Camp Freedom. That would be funny. We'll see. We'll see. I just about lost my flavor for everything because of the just all the drama and stuff I've been going through. So it's it's so hard to concentrate on just like even the channel right now. It's hard to be it's hard to be in chat, it's hard to be out of chat, it's hard to go in other people's chat. It's a very awkward situation. This is what you get for being with somebody that was in the movement. I know, right? It would be so funny. I'd have to go live through the whole thing. I really would. What we all ought to do is meet in Florida and stay for a couple of days. Even a 4-day weekend would be awesome. You guys think about it. The next time we go live, if we got more people, we'll see what everybody else wants to do. If you guys want to try to meet up somewhere, I would suggest it being somewhere within driving distance to me. Somebody could snag me on the way in, especially if we did it in Florida, because that's south of me. Um, Florida or Tennessee. See,
Don't talk about doing now.
Carol wants to get all the women together. Carol come up with the idea of all the women getting together and having a weekend.
With youngin.
No, I told him I'd have to get the kids out first. I don't want to take the youngins, so I would have to do it after that. Daddy wanting to know what we up to. He knows we're up to something. I told him it was all Carol's idea. But yeah, so we'll touch base with that idea as time gets closer. But that would be fun. We could all meet up for a good 4-day weekend. It'd be pretty cool. Daddy Carol said she wants to know if you can handle everybody setting a tent up in the yard and coming here.
On time, lady.
Where you going?
Anywhere else but here.
He said if we did it, he would leave. He would be anywhere else but here, he said. Y'all might be glad that he took off.
I didn't miss all my good cooking.
Well, you know you'd have to cook for them at least one night while they're here.
Got that barbecue one night, smoked chicken one night.
Nina, we just gonna have to put you to sleep somehow and transport you without you knowing it.
You know, not trouble.
She does not like the interstate, does not want to be a passenger in a car on the interstate, or does she want to be driving on the interstate? She is a she's she's a hermit because she don't go nowhere if you got to go on interstate.
Come in the bed, you make a bed by then.
Daddy said we'll put you in the trunk, Nina. He don't care. I don't think he would care. We got plenty of woods out here you could throw a tent up in, that's for sure. We got plenty of space. Carol says I would fly. That's what I did. That's how I travel these days. I kid you not, taking a bus is way more expensive than flying. And then it takes a lot longer time. So Nina wants us all to go to Camp Freedom because she doesn't have to worry about taking the interstate to get there. That's what that is. But Camp Freedom probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
What is Nina got against the interstate?
She just, I don't know. She's always told me that. I'd rather die than go to the beach.
If the interstate's the way to go, it ain't right.
Yeah, well, she's afraid of it. She don't even want to be in a car with it in there.
You just ain't road right.
I guess not. Nina, we're still talking about everybody close up. Where's Sean at? We're gonna have to do something. We have to, like, maybe we could put her in a motorhome and she'd be inside so she couldn't see nothing. Stash her up in a suitcase. We do something. We couldn't do it without Nina.
Nina lives in Massachusetts.
No, she lives in Maryland. Nina, you'd have to fly. That'd be just all the road. We'd have to get you on a plane.
The only bad thing about that is it comes straight down 95 to 20 to 441.
Yes, there is. Charlene and Slim are there. Aruba was there. We got a bunch of them in Florida. I can't never think of all of them. Carrie's in Florida. We got a bunch of our family down there. It says I was at a stop on the interstate and so storm 18-wheeler came inch from running over us. Is it because the tractor trailer almost hit you?
So if it's in a car, that hit it.
Probably would have. I can't wait to meet her face to face. Couldn't even begin to sit here and tell you who all I've met in the movement. I've met most of the streamers. I met Glory B face to face in Washington. Stormtrooper, Santa, Mags, Oreo, X-Ray. they talking about drugging you, Nina. You better be careful. They'll do it too.
And I can't blame you, really. They got
We can put you on a plane.
if I'm here again, the possibility of
I don't really care for margaritas. I'd ra- I'd rather have daiquiris. This is where it happens at all the time. This is where we all lose our mind. You know how it goes. But it would be nice to get together and do something.
well, if they hurry, they won't have to put up a tent.
It'll have what?
Tell them if they hurry, they won't have to worry about putting up a tent. They just sleep under the tree.
I don't think that would work out very well. Could you imagine having 15 women in your yard in tents?
I can't imagine having 15 women in the same damn town.
It would. We'd have fun. Carol said, you have to be with us because we need a chaperone, apparently. We have space. It ain't a space issue. It's not a space issue or even a time issue. It might be cold. We'll have a pit. We can burn a pit. I don't know how Dad feels about it, but it's a possibility, I guess. A four-wheeler designated driver. Hey, one thing is for sure, we could all go down to the lake. We can walk it like I do. If I can walk it, y'all can walk it. It's a workout, though. And yeah, there is a four-wheeler on the premises. One morning I took the dogs out by myself, solo. Dad stayed here. It was fun, but I let him do it. I enjoy riding the four-wheeler and going with the dogs. It makes me nervous, though, because if they see anything, they're gone. I know, and I agree with you, Ridgeline. That, and we have to have our herb, so at least I do. And Nina does, so there you go. But yeah, I'm sure we do have liquor stores somewhere close by. I don't know where they are, but I'm sure there is one.
They'll find them get drunk.
Eatonton would never be the same. You're right. You're absolutely right. He probably has enough, Ridgeline. Seriously. Carol says I'm cracking up. Y'all ain't got no sense. I don't know if y'all like coming here to stay in tents, though, because we got mosquitoes. We got a bear that wanders around. You might see a deer or two. There's a lake across the street.
Ain't no way no bear gonna come up on 15 women one time.
No, I mean, I don't know, Dad. Could your boat pull an inflatable?
I don't know. I never tried.
Shoot, I'll untie you from the pier and let you float down Lake Sinclair. It's pretty much a quiet lake. I mean, you'll run across boats, but you won't see no yachts or um, barges coming down this lake. Carol says, "Bear, no thanks." I've been here 2 months and haven't seen him yet, Carol. I don't think you got anything to worry about. There are other people have that's higher up on the lake than we are. I got ants crawling on my daggum phone. That's crazy. But no, if you guys really want to get together though and do something, we'll revisit it. You know, and especially if it's a chance for me to meet the people that's in the chat, that would be awesome. What?
Oh, that park, campsite over there, and everybody stay on the campsite. We'll have bathrooms, running water.
That's a possibility I hadn't thought about. We do have a campsite right up the road where we could all rent a campsite. We'll have showers and access to water and all that stuff. So I don't know if you guys want to come here and y'all wanted to all get tents. They're not as bad, Nina, as they were. They are getting better, but yeah, they're still here. I got one on my cup now, and it ain't even the tea that's in it's not even fresh. It's from yesterday. But they're still at the top of my cup. Carol said when she gets here, she ain't sleeping out here with no bear. She'll have to sleep in the house.
Said, come around about every. Once a year, they take them about a year to make it around.
Drunk bobbers. Shoot, if you had license and let y'all go out to the lake and fish. There's no telling where Dad can send y'all to actually catch some fish out here. No, they'll be bad when we start cleaning deer too, Nina. They are real bad about swarming when you're cleaning a deer. I'm already tired of them. Yeah.
We ain't started cleaning deer yet.
That's what I was just telling them. That's when it's going to get bad. I have to videotape that for you and let y'all see. Because it's awful. I'll take a break and hit the video camera.
So you can video right when the guts start coming out.
Oh. Everybody, I'm going to end the live and get back to my life. And I'm glad you guys were here. I got to answer a text that I got sent while I was on the live. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a safe morning. And I'll catch y'all again in a day or two.